Good evening, world. My name is Sean Fearon, and I've got nothing today. I realized if I wanted to, I could be a little more serious, kind of like in my second video. Thinking about that, I spent the whole day with a cancer patient, and after seeing how incredibly upbeat she and pretty much the rest of her family are, I felt if I decided to be dreary and serious, I'd kind of be doing her and every other cancer patient a disservice. By the way, have you ever noticed how my eyes kind of bug out whenever I want to make a serious point? I don't really understand why I do that. Actually, when I'm reviewing my video, I find it kind of hilarious, if not somewhat disturbing. I've since subscribed to her vlog, by the way. It's either going to be on the sidebar, or the doobly-doo, or the description box, or whatever you want to call it, since it's kind of lost its official name. That sort of does bring me to a topic, though. The whole idea of being upbeat rather than upsetting or dreary or just serious, as compared to just being happy. Also tied into the idea of spending time with friends, though, and I'll explain as I actually get along with my story. I found in my life that I've had times where I've had too many friends, and to an extrovert this might seem really weird, but to an introvert it seems pretty much par for the course. I've got friend group A and friend group B, and then I got college friends and high school friends and work friends and family and too many people wanting to see me all at once. I have to divide my time between all of these people, and there is no way I could possibly merge them into one socially awkward amoeba, because that always ends terribly. I mean, in my own personal experience, I found myself towards the end of high school already knowing which friends I would lose once I went to college. The friends that I knew I wasn't really that close with, and I felt kind of weird, because I feel like that's sort of a thing that doesn't happen. Most people go out and man, I'm gonna have to keep in touch with everyone. It's gonna be so hard, and I was already under the impression that I knew the friends that I would generally just lose touch with, and I was okay with that. Kind of made me feel like an ass. Oh well, I was right. So I have had to split my time between these many groups of friends, and let me tell you, it can get really stressful, because not only am I deciding what is actually the most efficient, I actually am making a conscious decision of who I would have the most fun with, and that's really judgmental, and I feel like a dick every time I do it. But that's what life is all about. That said, I still do have plenty of friends that I've lost touch with that I really wish I hadn't, for one reason or another. My fault, their fault, no one's fault. But it's not like I'm completely out of time to reforge bonds if I wanted to, and I definitely can, and I feel like I've been trying lately. Boy, I'm kind of being really serious for the video I said I wouldn't be serious about, but trust me, it gets better. So what's the story that I mentioned? It's about a time in my life when I realized I was becoming an increasingly bitter person. That's not fun at all. That's not the kind of person I wanted to be. And I concluded that it was because of the people that I was around, the environment that I put myself in. I was hanging out with very bitter, cranky, angry people. Cranky is probably the best word there, by the way. And I was feeding into it. I'm not gonna blame the friends that I was hanging around with for how I was feeling, but I saw a stark contrast in how we spent our time. And on one hand, I'd spend time with one group and realized that most of the time we were talking about the things that frustrated us, annoyed us, bothered us, complained about things, and sometimes, usually, in a laughing way, argued, and just generally very negative, even if it was funny. On the other hand, I had this group of friends who was just generally happy. We loved to talk about the things that we loved, the things that made us happy, that we got enjoyment out of. We laughed, we joked, and yeah, sure, sometimes we complain about stuff, and we like to rant and bitch and moan, because everyone does. I noticed this key difference. Just this sort of one thing, how we chose to spend our time, what emotions we decided to focus on, and I made the conscious decision to see this generally happier sort of friends more often. Unfortunately, it was a little too late, and a few months later, pretty much the entirety of that group graduated or transferred, and I was SOL. The silver lining in this, though, I transferred out too, the next semester. There was a whole bunch of other reasons I'm not going to get into about that, but overall, I think that part of it was that I wanted to be in a new environment, and I held those contacts, those happy friends. They're really cool people, and I don't see them nearly as much as I should. In fact, the reason that I'm making this video right now at 12:20 a.m. is because I'm going to see them tomorrow, and I won't have time to record one. And I'd be late otherwise. And now to interrupt myself with this. Thank you. This portion of the video fulfilling my funny noise quota for the day. Well, We may not be completely in charge of our own destiny. Sometimes it has other things in store for us, like diagnosing us with cancer or severe depression. Maybe we're going to lose some friends that we didn't expect to, and maybe we're going to break a few bones. But we can do one thing in any case, and that's decide how to spend our time, and as a part of that, decide how to feel about it. Because that makes all the difference, at least as far as I'm concerned. After all, this whole thing is sort of just an exercise in maintaining ties and feeling good about doing it. And that's great, you know? Going along with my own advice before I even gave it. Go me. As incredibly narcissistic as I find having a vlog is, it's actually not entirely about me being on YouTube and going, oh my god, look at how many page views are. Oh, I'm so popular, I'm internet famous. It's really, I just want to be amusing. I'm not going to get a million page views, and I'm never going to be popular and have my own cool, nifty, neat little channel and my own t-shirts, but at least I can give a few of my friends a laugh, and by doing that, I keep ties with them. Sure, I'm aiming this at my friend Dan. His moving away was the inspiration for doing this in the first place, but I'm aiming it at everyone. All of my friends, anyone who might get a laugh out of it, or might even, see me trying to be all, oh my god, I'm so serious, look at me giving these life lessons, they're so important, no one's ever said this before. But I'm aiming it at anyone. I'm aiming this particular one at my friend Kenny's sister Donna, the cancer patient that I mentioned before. At the very least, her family's given me something to talk about today. After spending the day with them and seeing how admittedly incredibly stressed out all of them are, they're, happy. Still laughing, still in good spirits. Kenny and his sister are just as crazy as I remember them to be, and exactly why I like spending time with them. And in the face of all of this, it's good to see. One thing that sort of bugs me when I start talking all wise like this is that I'm not actually wise at all. I'm actually sort of naive. I'm talking in the sort of sense that I'm divulging special information that no one's ever thought of before, and I'm not at all. Decades of families, people, and generations have had these same thoughts. It's nothing new. But I'm sharing it today because I feel like it, and that's about it. It's my vlog. As Socrates before me and innumerable people in between, I am on the quest for wisdom. What is wisdom, and how can I get as much of it into my head as possible? And that's why I always like to check myself and say, hey, you're still a pretty naive guy. So, good night, and I'll be funny again next week. My name is Sean Farron, and I'm a corporate llama.